Yes. So, this is all true. And, so we had empires. In Europe, we had empires. Everyone had France and Spain and Britain and Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, full of furniture for some reason. And the Austro-Hungarian Empire, famous for fuck all. Yes, all they did was slowly collapse like a flan in a cupboard. And the German Empire, very organized, always build an empire, eins, zwei, build an empire, very Prussian. And then they'd celebrate with the World War and then lose the whole fucking empire by the end of the war. Then the 30s, Hitler, Czechoslovakia, Poland, France, Second World War, Russian front, not a good idea. Hitler never played Risk when he was a kid. Because, you know, playing Risk, you could never hold on to Asia. That Asian, Eastern European area, you could never hold it, could you? 7 extra men at the beginning of every go, but you couldn't fucking hold it. Australasia, that was the one, Australasia. All the purples. Get everyone on Papua New Guinea and just build up and build up. And Hitler ended up in a ditch covered in petrol on fire. So that's fun. I think that's funny. Because he was a mass-murdering fuckhead. And that was his honeymoon as well. Double trouble. Hey. Ava, let's marry. And where shall our honeymoon be? Well, in a ditch, covered in petrol on fire. I've already arranged it upstairs. Oh, how romantic, Adolf. Yes, I thought. Fun. What a bastard. And he was a vegetarian and a painter, so he must have been going, I can't get the fucking trees. Damn, I will kill everyone in the world. He was a mass-murdering fuckhead, as many important historians have said. And, but there are other mass murderers got away with it. Stalin killed many millions, died in his bed. Well done there. Pol Pot killed 1.7 million Cambodians, died under house arrest, age 72. Well done indeed. And the reason we let them get away with it is because they killed their own people. And we're sort of fine with that. Now help yourself, you know. We've been trying to kill you for ages, so you kill your own people. Right on that. Seems to be. Hitler killed people next door. Oh, stupid man. After a couple of years, we won't stand for that, will we? And Pol Pot killed 1.7 million people. We can't even deal with that. I think, you know, we think if somebody kills someone, that's murder, you go to prison. You kill 10 people, you go to Texas, they hit you with a brick, that's what they do. 20 people, you go to a hospital, they look through a small window at you forever. And over that, we can't deal with it, you know? Somebody's killed 100,000 people. We're almost going, well done, well done. You killed 100,000 people? You must get up very early in the morning. I can't even get down the gym. Your diary must look odd. Get up in the morning, death, 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 lunch, death, 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 afternoon tea, death, 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 quick shower. You know, so I suppose we're glad that Pol Pot's under house arrest. You know, 1.7 million people, at least we know where he is, under house arrest. Just don't go in that fucking house, you know? I know a lot of people who would love to be under house arrest. They bring you your food, you just stay here. All right. No. Have you got any videos? You know, just sit there. So, and Pol Pot was a history teacher, and Hitler was a vegetarian painter. So, mass murders come from the areas you least expect it. I don't know how the flip comes over, but it happens. So, yeah, so there was a lot of that, and we built up empires. We stole countries. That's what you do. That's how you build an empire. We stole countries with the cunning use of flags. Yeah. You just sail around the world and stick a flag in. I claim India for Britain. And they go, you can't claim us, we live here. 500 million of us. Do you have a flag? We don't need a bloody flag. It's our country, you bastard. No flag, no country. You can't have one. That's the rules that I've just made up. And I'm backing it up with this gun. I just don't think that's happening. So, but you can't do that in Church of England. You can't say, you must have tea and cake with a vicar or you die. You can't have extreme points of view. You know, the Spanish Inquisition wouldn't have worked with Church of England. Talk, will you talk? But it hurts. Well, loosen it up a bit, will you? That's what it would be. Tea and cake or death. Tea and cake or death. Tea and cake or death. Students with beer. Tea and cake or death. Tea and cake or death. Little red cookbook. Little red cookbook. You know, because cake or death, that's a pretty easy question. Anyone can answer that. Cake or death? Cake, please. Very well. Give him cake. Oh, thanks very much. Very nice. You, cake or death? Cake for me too, please. Very well. Give him cake too. We're going to run out of cake at this rate. You, cake or death? Death, please. No, cake, sorry, cake. You said death first? Death first. No, I meant cake. Oh, all right. You're lucky I'm Church of England. Cake or death? Cake, please. Well, we're out of cake. We only had 3 bits and we didn't expect such a rush. So what do you want? Well, so my choice is or death. Well, I'll have the chicken then, please. Taste of human, sir. Would you like a white wine? There we go. Thank you very much. Thank you for flying Church of England. Cake or death? I asked for the vegetarian. Yes, the vegetarian. Yes, there we go, Mr. Hitler. There we go. Like a little wine? Thank you very much. You Nazi shithead. Also, if you're in a restaurant and you're choking to death, you can say the magic words Heimlich maneuver. If you're just coughing your guts up, you say Heimlich maneuver, and all will be well. The trouble is, it's very difficult to say Heimlich maneuver when you're choking to death. Heimlich maneuver. Your hymen's been removed. No. You need it removed. Right, get... I don't know how you remove a hymen. Yeah. No, Heimlich maneuver, developed by Dr. Heimlich, who woke up one night, obviously, and went, a fist, a hand, hoocha, 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 lobster. Yes, Hilda, wake up, Hilda. Oh, what is it, Dr. Heimlich? Why are you calling me Dr. Heimlich? I'm your husband, for fuck's sake. Loosen up, don't be so bloody Prussian. Well, what is it, Gunther? I have invented a maneuver. What are you, a bloody tank commander now? No, my name is going to be famous in restaurants. I don't think he actually did it that way. I don't think it was a wing and a prayer. I think he must have experimented. He was German, organized. Okay, Hans, I want you to swallow this golf ball. I cannot breathe. I know you cannot breathe. I will now make you breathe with the cunning use of... I still cannot breathe. Okay, maybe not. Maybe this will... Jesus. Okay, then maybe with a frying pan. Pow! Must be a combination. No, okay. Okay, 2 frying pans. Frying pan in the bollocks. Bollocks, start. Frying pan. Woo! Oh, he's dead. Other doctors going, how's it coming along, Dr. Heimlich? Well, not very well at the moment. It's not really a maneuver at the moment. It's more of a gesture. As the National Rifle Association says, it's not guns that kill people, it's maneuvers. But dentistry, interesting, we've only seemed to have Western dentistry. No Eastern dentistry, is there? It's just Western. I mean, there must be some Eastern stuff, but the Western is basically torture. Still in the torture field, it's still those 2 noises when you went to the dentist when you were a kid. There's... just the dentist talking. I haven't seen you for a while. I haven't seen you since the other day. He's a fine young lad. drill his face off, shall we? And they start softly, softly, catchy monkey with, right, we're going to do a little x-ray there. I'm going to put a machine up to your face. Okay, this is not dangerous at all. I'm just going to go to the Bahamas for a second. I've left my cat in the fridge there. No, maybe not. I'll come back. What you say? Your face feels a little drippy? Well, that's okay. Little runny, does it? Maybe you're hunter-gatherer. There you go. Okay, now, and then when they put the x-ray on that thing, that's when it all gets, because we don't know what it looks like. It just, they go, there you see, that's decay. What? That's my skull, isn't it? No, no, the black bit, well, that's my skull, that's my whole head. Yes, we're going to have to drill your head off. We don't know how to, they can just say anything. You see there, you've lost your nose. What? You got no teeth. You're a monkey, basically. What are you worried about? Right, we're going to have to drill, and then they start with a little bit of pokey-pokey. We're going to do a bit of mirror on the wall, which tooth has got to fall. And pokey-pokey-pokey, with that pokey thing, pokey-pokey-pokey, pokey-pokey, pokey-pokey-pokey, pokey-pokey-pokey. And then they're doing that code, 2TL9447, TS1, Alpha Charlie, Bravo, Tango Foxtrot, 2,000 feet over a monkey's head. It all means something. First tooth, strong, solid. Maybe I can dislodge it if I knock it. And some equipment. Second tooth, good, but bleeding around the gums, the thin white towel of death must be used to saw down the edge and make it fall out like the back of the Berlin Wall. That would be nice. Third tooth decay is round the edges. The decay that I planted last time has taken hold. Looks like we're gonna have to drill. Whee-ha, gonna have to drill. Whee, fire it up, nurse. I'm gonna drill his face off. Hang on, you drill up, you drill up, and they become like bad carpenters. Nurse, could you put your finger in his mouth and go? Hang on, you haven't got it plugged in, you're just making the noises. Right, rinse. I'm out of this thing. Where's the button? Where's the button? Why do you have to press the fucking button for this thing? Why can't I press the fucking button? What's the pressures about the bloody red stuff? Just turn it on. It's like they dole that stuff out. Then he goes, right, I've drilled your face off. You've got stumps for teeth. I'm going to screw in some new ones. They're the new titanium teeth. They screw them in, and they're sponsored by the makers of Scrabble. So they've got letters and numbers on them. So there we go. Top row, I'm going to turn fantastically. That's 41 points. Bottom row, fuck me, baby. 71 points. If you smile, it should happen. It's all drilling. There's just no invention, everything new. We've got a better drill, faster drill, and it's high. Can't they just make them quiet? It's all, you can feel. All that fucking. My dentist said recently, he was a nice guy, he said, I've got a water blower. It blows plaque off your teeth. I thought, fantastic. But it blows it at the speed of sound, and therefore it feels like 72 daggers. Even one dentist said, I've got this cream, tell me, rub it on your tooth, tell me when it hurts. I go, that hurt, that hurt, that hurt. What is it? This is just a hurty cream, it just hurts. And Engelbert Humperdinck, yes, he was a man. That's not his real name. He's from Britain, but that's not his name. There's very few Humperdinks in Britain. He was born Jerry Dorsey, and not Engelbert Humperdinck. His parents were not Mr. and Mrs. Humperdinck. They never said, what should we call our son so he does not get the shit kicked out of him at school? We shall call him Engelbert. Good, that'll work. No, his name was Jerry Dorsey, and he released songs as Jerry Dorsey, songs such as, Oh, of Child. Which didn't work because no one could hear what he was saying. And then his managers obviously said, we're going to change your name, Jerry. It's the name that's the problem. And his name changed from Jerry Dorsey to Engelbert Humperdinck. I mean, I just wanted to be in the room when they were working that one through. Zingelbert Bembeldak. Yingibert Dangleband. Zangelbert Bingledack. Wingelbert Humptyback. Slutbunwalla. What? All right, Kringlebert Fishy Buns. Stevie Buns Buttrundles. No, Jerry Dorsey. I like Jerry Dorsey. No, we can't. Oh, we got Zingelbert Bembeldak, Tringlebert Wangledack, Slutbunwalla, Klingy-Bun Fistelbars, Dindelbert Zendeldak, Jerry Dorsey, Engelbert Humptyback, Zingelbert Bengeldack, Engelbert Humperdinck, Wingelbert Wingledank. No, go back one. Engelbert Humperdinck. That's it. And it worked. So God created the world in 7 days. A foolish brag, I feel. If I was God, I'd say, I'm going to create the world over a number of days. Not sure how long. Might be a bit pressed, you know? Too much pressure, 7 days dead. I'll do it like Microsoft. It's going to be done by Saturday, Tuesday, next week, about a month. We're going to bring it out when we're fucking ready, right? I think God was actually in bed, and his mum said, get out of bed, will you, God? You'll miss the best part of the day. His mum was Mrs. Badcrumble. Get out of bed. She's just my clarinet teacher, right? Well, get out of bed, God. You'll miss the best part of the day. And God, who is James Mason, said, no, I won't get out of bed, Mother, because I haven't yet created the best part of the day. Can't get me on that one. Box clever, you see. Oh, you wee young scallywag. I'll box you a bit later. So then God created the world, and the first day he created light and air and fish and jam and soup and potatoes and haircuts and arguments and small things and rabbits and people with noses and jam, more jam perhaps, and soot and flies and tobogganing and showers and toasters and grandmothers and Belgium. And the second day he created fire and water and eggnog and radiators and lights and Burma and things that go and Colonel Gaddafi and Arthur Negus. And I think the third day he probably got lists and said, I can't remember what I've invented now. I've just been ad-libbing so far. And so everything sort of built up all through the days. And, you know, if you've got a deadline, you know how it works. Everything builds right up to the end. I think the seventh day, God was running around in the panic. Oh, my God, what haven't I... Rwanda, better correct Rwanda. Oh, sorry, haven't quite done that. The Tower of Pisa. Oh, it's leaning. Oh, damn. Toilets in French camping sites. There we go. English football hooligans, there we go, whatever that is. Mrs. Thatcher's heart, there we go. Oh, fuck that. Oh, no, I'll put a stone in, that'll work. There we go. The next week, I think people coming back going, Rwanda doesn't work very well. Infrastructure's fucked. I'm terribly sorry. I'll put some more jam here. And a mountain of cabbages, and a radiator. Thank you, that's just what we wanted. This is them dragging Rwanda back to lay it out on the map. No one got that. Never do that piece again. Okay, the Book of Revelations, right? Well, that's where it all ends. And the Book of Revelations has got Armageddon, and Armageddon's Australian for Armageddon out of here. That's the end of the world. That's where it came from. That's where it derived from. And it's the end of the world. And if you translate, people look at the Book of Revelation and say, oh, it's the end's going to come from the world of politics or the world of economics or perhaps the world of technology. And I have a love-hate relationship with technology. I do love it, but I can hate it really big time. And we split into two groups. We have people with techno-fear. We know the techno-fear people. They're there going, I've wiped the file. I've wiped all the files. I've wiped the internet. I don't even have a modem. I don't have that. I don't have techno-fear. I have techno-joy. I love technology. I love to get the new machines. Every new machine I get, I think, this is the one. I won't have to work again. I've got this thing. And if you have techno-joy, you get the instructions, you unwrap it, and throw the instructions out the window. Forget them, fuck them on. I must know how this works. I've used machines before. Come on. Come on. Come on. This bit comes off, I think. And you smash it with a hammer. I get really fucked off with the machines. And everyone on films, they're so swish, so smooth on computers. So expert on their computers. Breaking into the Pentagon computer. Double click on yes. Oh, password protected. 20 billion possible chances. Jeff. Hey! People go, how did you know? How did you know it'd be Jeff? I knew there'd be a back door. In films, there's always a back door. The guy who made the software, you see, he left a back door so that he could get back in when he wanted and look around and look at all the missiles and go, ooh, and put one on his head. And the guy who made the software was called Jeff, Jeffty Jeff. Born on the 1st of Jeff, 19 Jeffty Jeff. So I put in Jeff and hey. I don't know about you, but I've never seen one character in a film on a computer in a realistic way going. Oh, no, no. Put the printer there. Computer, right. Instructions, hold on. Book of Revelations. Okay, right, Control P, print. Control P, print. Control P, print. Cannot access printer. It's here. I can access printer. Why the fuck can't you access printer? I plugged you in. Fucking Control P print. Control P print. Control P print. Control P print. And it's as if the computer's going, I'm not sure what you're trying to do. I'm trying to print. Control P print. Ah, but there's something you haven't done. What? Tell me what it is. I'll do it. I'll do it. I've got a hit. No, I can't tell you. Fucking tell me. Just Control P print. It's 5 in the morning. It's only a paragraph. I just got to get this fucker printed out. I used the fax modem earlier, and that fucked it up, didn't it? I can't fucking access the bloody thing. It's not being used by something else. I'm using the printer port. Fucking Control P print. Control P print. Control P print. Print Control P. Print Control P. Control P print. Get the print. A problem of type 2094 has occurred. What the fuck is that? What are the 2093 other problems I've just missed to get to that one? Oh, don't do that. Don't you crash on me, you bastard! God! I'm so tired. You have no... I'm not sure what you're trying to... You... Right, I'll get that going. Escape, Control, P, Alt, thing. Escape, Control, P, Alt... Fucking... Right, I'm phoning Amsterdam, you bastard. Hello, Amsterdam. You speak very good English, well done. Bordered by 4 countries, yes, I know. Yes, a lot of problems in land wars. Now, look, I've got a Macintosh computer plugged into a Canon BubbleJet printer, and yes, I've been into the printer file and chosen Canon BubbleJet printer. Yes, I've been into the chooser file and chosen the printer port, which is the same as the faxo modem port, which confuses the fuck out of me. Yes, I've chosen A4 paper instead of toilet paper. Yeah, I know that. I've chosen the picture of the dog standing straight up instead of the dog lying on its side. If it's got a problem, taxidermist had to go with it. What the fuck? It's 5 in the morning. It will not print out. There's something definitely wrong with the... There's an on switch on the printer, is there? And there's always one fucking thing you haven't done. And I think that's how, if there is an end of the world through technology, it'll happen through that. Some American general in the Pentagon going, Jesus Christ, it's 5 in the morning, will you bloody work? Smashing the thing out with a huge... And the whole world goes. Which will be interesting. But if it does go, I think I'll carry on gigging, because I quite like it. Thank you very much. Good night. But there must have been a Death Star canteen, yeah? Where Darth Vader could just chill and go down. I will have the penne alla arrabbiata. You'll need a tray. Do you know who I am? Cake or death? Cake, please. Very well. Give him cake. Oh, thanks very much. It's very nice. You, cake or death? Cake for me too, please. Very well. Give him cake too. We're gonna run out of cake at this rate. Yeah? The Egyptian...
Do you know who I am? And now I have returned. And I've taken up scuba diving.
Can't you just kill them? You have the guns. What's going to bring down America? If you look to the Roman model, it's just America. Because, you know, you've got all the guns in the world now. We've all banned them, and you've said, yeah, even the IRA is saying, we don't want any more guns in Northern Ireland right now, because we had these guns, and because they've been doing the agreement for ages. You know, I don't know, do you get this on... Do you know there's other countries? I mean... just checking. It's just, you know, sometimes you have to go through a fair few channels to get any... Meanwhile, in Yemen, in California, oh, fuck. But yeah, because in Northern Ireland, you know, the Protestants, Catholics, and they were going, you know, the Catholics, well, the IRA was going, if you just sign that, your name on the declaration there, we will be taking our hands off the guns right now, if you could just put your signature there. We will sign this piece of paper if you will take your hands away from the guns. Just take... The signature is so close to going onto the thing. If you could just remove... I've got my nail on the gun now. That's all I have. The ball is in your court. If you could just put that ink onto that thing. It's hardly a nanometer away. If you could just fucking take your fucking finger away. I'm dripping the ink down there. I'm putting ink on. It's not actually making any sentences yet, but I'm... You fucking... All right, it's all fucking off. I got it right now.
Good evening. Good evening, Salt Lake City. Good evening, Utah. It's great to be here. In London at the moment, it's about 4 or 5 in the morning. So I'm a little spaced out, but that's okay. So tonight is not a performance. Tonight I am going to talk to you just about my experiences growing up as a trans kid, knowing I was trans, not knowing that the word trans existed. Like most of us, or LGBTQ, or any of our letters of our alphabet that we love, and our alphabet's getting bigger and bigger, which is confusing. But there we go. We're smoothing along on that. And yeah, I'm going to tell you about that. I'm going to tell you how I worked. It's interesting. I met Sue Robbins, who was got her award tonight, and just before the show, and she's obviously a fierce and strong and a really hardworking trans activist. And I haven't been that. As a trans person, I haven't been that. I wonder if I am a failure in a way at that. Because I've done it in a different way. Because I came out in 1985, which is so long ago, 37 years ago. I'm very proud of coming out in 85. We couldn't even think of the word trans. We had different words then. We were TV and TS, because obviously the word transvestite was Latin, and it means it hadn't been updated since the Romans. So everyone hated that word, and it had a lot of baggage with it. So we'd come up with TV and TS, which I thought was essentially the same grouping. I realized that transgender was the grouping. But when I came out, I came up with this idea of what I was going to do was I was going to come out and then just carry on. That was going to be my trick. So I haven't been as brave as Sue and as many trans activists, LGBTQ activists. I haven't done that. What I have done is I have come out and I just carried on trying to do what I love doing. And this is comedy, but also drama, and then to turn into running, marathons, and performing my stand-up now in 4 languages and in 45 countries. So I'm trying to excel. I'm trying to do this thing. I'm trying to advocate for being trans by doing things so that hopefully people go, wow, how did that work? Oh, that person's trans? Oh, fuck, I better rethink trans then. That's how I'm trying to do it. The trick of the things I do, just so quickly, so I've run 130 marathons for charity. But I've done them a bit weird. I did 43 in 51 days, and then I did 27 in 27 days in South Africa, which was a salute to Nelson Mandela, a fantastic political leader. And then 29 and 29 days through Europe when Brexit was happening, and I totally disagree with Brexit because it's pulling apart, it's breaking connections when we should be making connections. And then I ran 32 marathons in 31 days on a treadmill. Don't try it, kids. It'll drive you nuts. I had to do I did a podcast for 6, I do 6-hour marathons. That's how slow I am. The world record is 2. I do 6. But then I find the body doesn't fall apart. But this is the way I'm doing things. So I do salute Sue Robbins and all activists, all LGBTQ activists, Troy, everything he's done, everything anyone's done, and I'm just doing it in this weird other way. But I am going into politics. So I'm going to be an MP, a member of parliament in my country, if they'll have me. And this is how I see the world. Sue was talking about phrase making. Yes, be phrase makers. All of us be phrase makers. We need to come up with phrases that grab marriage equality. What a great phrase that was. I come up with phrases. If you shoot for the stars, you can reach the moon. I was very affected by your space projects. Your space projects. That doesn't a big enough word. Your space missions. When I was a kid, it was happening, landing on the moon. I was there. I was watching it in a place called Bishop Stortford in England, which is such a weirdly named place. And when I met Nelson Mandela, because I ran these marathons, before I actually met him, and Neil Armstrong was walking out when I was walking in. That's the weirdest thing, because what a fantastic person was there. What a fantastic person was there. And this idiot was in between them. But I didn't talk to Neil, and I should have said, Neil, what's Nelson? Is he chatty? Is he chatty Cathy? No, is he wearing the shirts? Okay, just play it cool. Great. Well done in '69. I was in Bishop Stortford. Yeah, Bishop Stortford. No one knows why it's called that. It's just a weird name in England. Yeah, fuck, all right. But you took the and Buzz was a bit worried, and you. I've been inspired by you, mate. That's the conversation I would have had. So let me tell you quickly how my thing starts. I'm going to tell you about these three things. Well, I'm just going to run through it. As you can see, I'm heavily scripted. I'm not going off the auto cues. You can see this. This is me just talking to you. Oh yeah, this is what I want to say. But no, I'll say that at the end. All right. I was born in Yemen. Now, you may have heard of Yemen. It has a civil war. It's been going on there for 5 years or more. It had a tough enough time. It's one of the Arabic countries that does not have oil. And so no one pays any attention to it, which is not great. And they have a civil war that Saudi Arabia and Iran seem to be fighting on their land. It is just hellish. If there are LGBTQ people there, they can't even get to first base on trying to express their true, authentic selves because they're just trying to survive and be alive. So it was a colony. The British, we used to do colonies. You know about this thing? We did it in your country too for a while. We kept doing it. It's not a British thing, it's a European thing. And it's not really a European thing, it was a human thing. Humans do these things. So if whatever happens in Salt Lake City and in Utah, and America, it also happens in the world. You have people who are so right-wing, Attila the Hun's going, what? They did what? We have the same people in our country, and they're in France, and they're in Germany, and they're in Russia. You know, it's all problems are human problems. So everything you do here that is positive creates a resonance in your state and in your country and in the world. We hear each other now. One of the really good things of being linked up. So I was born in Yemen. My dad was an accountant, very exciting. At the BP refinery, it's an oil refinery there. He was an accountant there. Mum was a nurse, turned up. My dad's mother, my dad's wife. Sorry, my dad's mother. My dad's first wife. She came with him to Yemen. Her name was Joy, but she wasn't, and because she played the field, ladies and gentlemen, and ran off with some other guy. And my dad was severely depressed and was drinking a pint of gin a day, which is, it was just a lot of gin. And then my mother turned up, and they fell in love, and they had 9 years together, and then she died when I was 6 years old. And that's the first part of our life. It just devastated our family. Some people think, oh, you're trans because your mum died. No, that's got nothing to do with it. It doesn't seem, if you are LGBTQ, I think it's inbuilt. It's a gift. It's a gift that we have. It doesn't look like a gift. It doesn't feel like a gift. We all go through all sorts of bloody hell to try and get out and express ourselves. But it is a gift. It's a prickly gift. But it's a gift. I was told this, the TVTS Help Centre, when I came out. There was one help centre in the whole of the United Kingdom, and it was half a mile from where I lived. And I thought, the fates are telling me. They said, go to the help centre. And I went there, and I hung out with some people, and they were very cool, they relaxed, and I could put some makeup on, and they said, that's bad makeup. And but I had to learn, you have to start somewhere. And I was sitting with a lawyer, a guy who was a lawyer. He says, I can't be trans, I can't be out at work because they're too conservative, they won't allow me. But you can because you're a performer, and it's a gift. And I thought, what? What, is he crazy? And then it sat with me all since that time. I don't know if I'll ever meet this guy again. I can't even remember his name. But it is a gift. It is a gift. And if you come out with it, if you come out as LGBTQ, it's almost like your Arthurian knight's quest. Your quest, ladies and gentlemen, everyone here, you've probably already done this quest, but your quest is to tell other people and encourage other people they must come out. And as more and more people come out, it will get more and more, we get positive normalization. There is negative normalization, which the extreme right do, and we do positive normalization, which makes it healthy. That's another phrase to use, because positive normalization gets us to a place. Because I think this century, it's the 21st century, and 21 is a big age for you in America. It's a big age all around the world. It's like the coming of age. I think this is the coming of age of humanity, this century. And I think we're either going to make it a fair world for 7.8 billion people, or we're going to wipe ourselves off the planet. I think those are the extremes. And we need to tell people this, and we need to encourage people to choose a side. Do you want to have a fair world for 7.8 billion people? I think that's the only way that the world is going to work. We can't have it when some people are struggling hugely on almost no money, and other people are living like gods. We have to have a fair world. Everyone, a fair chance in life. That's all. Not a free life, a fair chance in life for 7.8 billion people. So that's what I'm going into politics to fight for. So my mum was there. I was having a beautiful childhood. I was running about. We moved from Yemen to Northern Ireland, again, kind of a crazy place to go to, and then just moving about. And then Mum died when we were 6, totally devastated. I went to boarding schools. But I knew I was trans from about the age of 4 or 5. And I just thought wearing a skirt, yes. Wearing makeup, yeah, that's fun. But it seemed, no, don't mention that, otherwise you get your head kicked in. So I just didn't mention it. But I'm also quite boyish, so I seem to be gender fluid. I have boy genetics and girl genetics. That's how I see it. And I just decided to express it and be truthful about it in 1985 when I came out. And what a weird thing is, because Donald Trump seems to lie as easily as he breathes. He just breathes lies, and sometimes I don't know how he exists, but telling the truth, it's so wonderful to just come out. Most of you here must have come out. If not, you're allies, and thank you for being allies. But just coming out, it's just so good to say this is true, and this is how I am, and this is my authentic self, and I'm going to live it. But before that, we went through rocky patches. When I was 15, I started stealing makeup. Yes, stealing makeup. That was the thing. Now, I know some young girls stole makeup, but that was kind of okay. But for a young boy to steal makeup, no. I had pocket money. I could have bought makeup, but I thought if I bought it, the person at the cash till would say, "Why are you, a boy, buying makeup? You must be a transvestite, you must be wrong, you must be a wrong person." So I thought, I won't buy it, I'll steal it. And then no one will know, except for the police and the judicial system. And yeah, so I stole it. I stole it a few times, and I was caught in a shop in the south of England, and the police came, and I was dragged off, and they said, "Have you got more? Have you got more?" And when I was a kid, I wanted to be in special forces, right? I should mention this. Okay, and you're going, what? Yes. Special forces was one of my things. I kind of feel like I've done civilian special forces ever since I've come out, learning to live on my feet and just come out in a different way. But I was kind of obsessed with this. I just think in a kind of military way. So anyway, I was stealing makeup, and this guy was saying, "Have you got any more makeup?" And surely, as someone who's trying to be a soldier, a person in the forces, would be able to withstand interrogation and go, "No." But I just went, "Yes, I've got more makeup. I've got tons of it at home." And so then I had to do the ignorant, 15 years old, as a boy, being driven by the policeman in his police car, and I had a shoebox. I'd made a shoebox. I'd made a false bottom in a shoebox, and I'd cut out the bottom of another shoebox and put 2 bits of balsa wood and some Scotch tape, and it hinged, and I put all the makeup in the bottom. And if you looked at it, you couldn't tell it was a false bottom unless you were human. And then, but if you were a giraffe who was a member of the police, you'd go, but any human would go, "That's just a false bottom then. You've got a ton of makeup in the makeup." I didn't even get to that bit, because I just said, "It's all in this shoebox," and I had to give it out. And so that was kind of like coming down with a bin line, a whole bag full of makeup to give to the policeman. And as he drove off, I do believe he was trying out some of the lipsticks as he drove in the rear view. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just in my mind. But then it's just me and my stepmother, and I had to do this. I don't know if anyone was trans, got caught by someone. So my stepmother's looking at me, and I've got to now say why I was stealing. Now, I should add, my stepmother was in the SAS. which is like your Delta Force, your Navy SEALs. That sounds very weird to you? Yes. Well, it was World War II, and she was really good at Morse code. And she was brilliant. She taught it. And so she was seconded to SAS Brigade. And she knew I was obsessed with this, Special Forces, SAS, that's what Special Air Service they're called. And so she turned to me and she said, and I didn't know what I was going to say to her, but she said, "Is this all about your obsession with the SAS?" And I said, "Yes, yes." She was upset. She was looking at the stealing part of it, not at the makeup part of it. I was going, yes, it was a secret mission. Yeah, I had to just get anything. She didn't. I just said, "Don't ask me why it's makeup all the time." And then I came up with a brilliant idea. I'd been on an exchange trip to France, and I'd met this girl, and I fancy girls. I'm a wannabe lesbian, and I saw this girl, and I had a photograph of her, and I said, "There's this girl. It's for her. I stole a ton of makeup for her." And she said, "Don't steal. It's bad. Just use your pocket money. Buy her a scarf." Okay, a scarf. So then I had to go and buy her a bloody scarf, and I bought a scarf, and I had to send it to this girl. I knew her first name at this school. That's all I knew. And she would have got it, what? "Janine, was it là? We were, you said, in a shop, you have a scarf for you? What the hell? Who's this from?" That must have happened. I want to track this girl down to see if it ever found it. Anyway, so it's bumbling through life until I came out in '85. And coming out was just so much better and very positive. The first day I came out, I didn't know quite. I'd gone to this help center, and I realized just staying in a room and throwing on a dress and a bit of makeup, that wasn't going to do it. So I had to go out into the real world. But in '85, there was we weren't even being taught about it. I feel that our lesbian and gay cousins, they've worked very hard. At that point, they had worked very hard in 1985 to move things forward, to have rights. But trans was just lost. Transgender was way out there. But I just thought, I've got to get out, and I've got to start walking around in public. So that's what I did, I'll just tell you this one story that I said to there was a woman, I think she was a lesbian woman who was hanging out with us. She's just being a positive ally at the TVTS help group. And I said, "I need to meet someone in the center of town. I need to have a mission to go and meet someone wearing a dress, wearing some makeup. Will you be that person I can meet and just have a coffee? Can you do that?" And she said she would. So this is in London, and so we have an underground system and public transport, and I had to get on a public transport and be there, and the panic that was going through my brain, and just the sweating, and I had to do this. And I had a bag with me with my boy clothes in as well. So I was dressed in girl mode, in girl clothes, and I went off, and I managed to get through it. I met this woman, I had the coffee, and I came back. And then I had to change, and I had to go to the ladies' loos to change, because I went to the boys' loos. I'd got my head kicked in, so I went to the ladies' loos, and I changed. But there were 3 young girls. They were teenage girls who were jumping off school, who were missing school, and smoking cigarettes. Bad girls. Who were about, probably about 13, and I was about 23, they were about 13, and they were smoking. And I'm in the loos, and I go in, I go, "Christ, they're going to see me, they're going to read me," and I'm closing the door, but the door's got no lock on it. Oh, fuck, there's no lock. And then I'm going into the one across the way, there's no lock on 2 of these doors. Where are the locks? What are they? Because the boys' loos are always smashed up, and I didn't think the girls' loos were as well. And then I locked it up, and I changed clothes, and I wiped all my makeup furiously, and I went out, and they said, "Oi, what are you doing? What are you doing? Who are you? What are you doing that for?" And they followed me, and and they decided that they would tease me. And they were, 10 years younger than me, but there were 3 of them, and I was just scared out of my brain. It was my first time I'd ever come out. So I'm just walking down the road to where I live, and they were going, "Oh, why are you wearing a dress? Oi, mate, what are you doing? Well, you're puffed up. What's wrong?" And I just keep walking. I just don't know what the hell to do. And I can't go home because then they'll know where I live. So I just start walking towards Paris, basically. And I just walked. And it was an interesting point. I walked and walked and walked, and I walked for about 20 minutes. And then I just thought, fuck this. And I turned around and I dropped back and I said, "You want to know why I'm wearing makeup? I'll tell you why I'm wearing makeup." And all 3 of them, they just screamed and they ran. And I thought, well, that's pretty positive. And there is something in this that that moment I was saying, I exist, I'm here, I have a voice, I'm not going to be afraid anymore. And so that's what I've done. That's how I've done it. And I've had people shout at me quite often. They shout at me, you know, if you are trans, you will, and you can be red. And I kind of look like a boy who's transitioned. And people will say to me, oh, what the fuck is the fucking, there's a lot of swearing, fuck you, fucking out, what the fucking out. And I tend to turn around and say, fuck you with a fucking out, fucking out, fucking out. Then they say, fuck it out, and I say, fuck now, fuck you, fuck it out, what the fuck. And that goes on for about 10 minutes. Now, the last guy who did this, it was right outside my house, and he said, you, Izzard, you, we're going to do your house when you're away. And I said, who the hell are you? And I got righteous anger from, not from me, but from all trans people, all LGBTQ people, all the way back to the beginning of time. And I was going, fuck you, don't fuck you, fuck off me. And he just carried on, but he was doing it while walking away, which is a bit odd. I don't know, fuck you with a fucking hell, fucking which seemed slightly positive on my end. And then I went into the pub next door to my house. I said, who the hell was that? Oh, he's this idiot. They gave me a name. And I thought I should say that name to the police because hate crimes now exist, which is an important move forward for humanity. And then I left it. I thought about it, I left it, and then I just carried on living. 2 weeks later, I'm going to the supermarket and something. You fucking animal, who the hell? You again! Fuck you with a fucking Right, I'm telling the police now. Because I just thought if someone goes in and breaks into my house, I've got a name to start with. So I thought I could mention that to the police and that's it, and I just move on, boom. I just don't want to be scared. I want to take my space. And I told the police, and they said, you need a statement. I don't know if you have the same process in America. They said, you need a statement? I said, no, not a statement. I'm just telling you this. Said, no. This could be a hate crime. And then you make a statement because it has to go through official process. And I realized we've got to that stage. And it is an amazing thing to have hate crime legislation, which I believe you now have, and we have in the UK, because freedom of speech is something we really want. But if that speech is causing harm or danger to other people, then it becomes a hate crime. So you want the freedom, but you want it. And that's a very nuanced thing that we finally got to after, 5,000 years after the Egyptians. How long has it taken to get here? It's just taken a bloody long time. So I gave the statement, I made the thing, they had the court case. The court case came, I had my day in court at a magistrate's court, which is lower than a crown court in the UK. And I don't know if you have this system that the people who are the accused, they go into a holding area. The people who are the witnesses, the people who were the hate crime was against, or the crime was against, they go off to a safe place so they don't have to be with that person. But I thought, no, screw that. I'm going to sit in the place where all the bad people come, and I'm going to wait for him to come. And I did, and I sat there, just sat back with my arms on the back of the sofa, right at the back, and he came in, and I stared at him, and I stared at him, and I stared at him, and I stared at him. I just wouldn't take my eyes off him. I just wasn't going to do this inverse thing. And then he went off down the corridor, came back, and I stared at him. I just wouldn't take my eyes. I just refused to be cowed by this dickhead. I think is the word, I think is the medical term we use. Then there was the court case, he was found guilty, and then the press wanted to take photographs of him. So, because he was the guy who was found guilty. So I try. This is what I try to do. I just try and live my life and carry on and do things. And I started running my marathons because I did think it's going to help. I'm raising money. That's great. That helps everyone all around the world. I really believe in reaching out around the world because if we don't think in a world context, then we're not going to make it as the human species. And I am a believer. I don't believe in a God up there because he never seems to come and help. I'm happy. You can come down now, right here in Salt Lake City. If you want to come now, I'm completely ready to be dumbfounded and apologize, but never comes to come down. But I am a believer. There's this word, the unbeliever. No, I'm a believer. I believe in us. I believe in human beings. I believe there is more goodwill than ill will in the world. So I thought if I started running my marathons, it could do a few things. It raised money, and that helps people around the world, so that's great. It could get the exercise back. You know, when we were kids, we were quite some of us are quite runabouty, and then we just get bigger and wider. So I thought, no, I'll get back to this fitness guy. And there was this human level of politics underneath it, which also said, if you're a trans person and you're running marathons, and I was running them day after day after day after day, which kind of impressed me if it didn't impress anyone else. I just thought, well, good luck to me if I can do this. And then I've met people in the streets who think, you're trans, but you run these they just can't deal with it. And they have to readjust their thinking about not only trans, but all LGBTQ, all alternative sexualities. They just have to think about it in a different way. And that's why I did it. So that was the 43 was in the United Kingdom, and then the 27 was in South Africa. South Africa, such a country that's had such a hard time. Nelson Mandela, fantastic person. I never did enough for him. I never did enough for him when he was in prison. So I thought I'll give him 27 marathons in 27 days. And that was beautiful. Now, there's something that happened in that. I did this video because they were videoing it and they're putting out trying to raise money. There's a nails video. If you put my name and nails into YouTube, you'll see this video come up. And I was trying to articulate what it is just to be trans and be out there and be running. And it came out well. It came out positively. I just ad-libbed it and it just came out. And it was about, it doesn't matter whether you're gay, lesbian, man, woman, black, white, yellow. It doesn't matter, none of this. It matters what do we do in life? Can we do something positive? We have to be brave and curious and not fearful and suspicious. Brave and curious, not fearful and suspicious. I feel the extreme right, they pander on the fearful. Fear them, be suspicious, fearful, suspicious, push back, push back. And we're saying, no, we have to be brave. And we have to reach out and say, hi, how are you? Hi, who are you? Where do you come from? What do you do? Can we learn from you? Can you learn from us? How can we all move forwards together? If we do not do this, we're just not going to make it. And so that's what I've devoted my life to. I've sort of been forced to, I've chosen to be trans by the gods, the fates. I don't know, I don't believe in that God, but I just seem to have this gift, so I'm trying to use it in the most positive way I can. I'm trying to do everything I can, run marathons as much as I can, perform in French, German, and Spanish now, as well as in English. I want to do Russian. I want to do Arabic, for the language where I was born. I'd like to do Mandarin Chinese. I'm just going to excel. All of us keep excelling, pushing above the line. Men, women, anyone who's positive and progressive, push. Keep doing it. Keep thinking it. Think of Salt Lake City. Think of Utah, but think of America as well. And think of the world. Think of everyone. Because every little bit you do adds, and it pushes forward. And a fair world for 7.8 billion people, that's a big ask. But if we don't ask, we don't get. And I'm going to ask, and I'm going to keep on asking, and I'm going to keep on pushing, and I will become a member of Parliament, and I will push like crazy when I get in there. So I salute you all. Keep doing what you do. I salute Troy and everyone who's worked here. You're doing a beautiful job. Keep going. Keep pushing onwards and upwards. And we can make it a fair world for 7.8 billion people. Thank you. Amen.
But in America, it was different. The Founding Fathers landed in They set off from Plymouth and landed in Plymouth. How lucky is that? This is Plymouth. We've just come from Plymouth. We've gone round the circle. Lads, back on the bus. They finally got there and said, this is where our God has brought us to. We can practice our religion here. We can raise a family. There's nobody here. Excuse me? There's nobody here. Yes, a land empty of human existence. Who the fuck are these guys? What's all this, please? No, we don't want any of your food, thank you very much. Just put some clothes on. Meanwhile, that winter, excuse me, do you have any food? I love all this, lovely idea. Yes, I'm sorry, we're a bit brusque when we first arrived. We didn't realize you owned the entire country. But you have no system of ownership. Interesting. maybe that can come in useful later. Food, thank you very much, very nice. Yes, there's more of us coming, but we'll keep our promises. So the American government lied to the Native Americans for many, many years. Built up empires. We stole countries. That's what you do. That's how you build an empire. We stole countries with the cunning use of flags. Yeah. You just sail around the world and stick a flag in. I claim India for Britain. And they go, you can't claim us, we live here. 500 million of us. Do you have a flag? We don't need a bloody flag. It's our country, you bastard. No flag, no country. You can't have one. That's the rules that I've just made up. And I'm backing it up with this gun that was lent from the National Rifle Association. That was it, you know. And Queen Victoria became Empress of India. She never even fucking went there, you know. She was one of our more frumpy queens. They're all frumpy, aren't they? Because it's a bad idea when cousins marry. Bottom of the gene pool, you know, you're just scraping the barrel there. Haven't got enough for any more you royals there, sorry. First rule of genetics, spread the genes apart, you know. But the royals are just obsessed with, are you a royal family, are you a royal member? Well, then you can marry me because you're the same gene pool and our IQs will go down the toilet. Fantastic. That's why there's no, you know, crazy royals. They're all kind of, hello, hello, what do you do? You're a plumber. What on earth is that? So, yeah. And the Second World War, after the Second World War, that's when all the empires sort of dissolved. And we came first in the Second World War, but we were financially fucked by the end of the Second World War. Because there was a period of time, it was just us and the Nazis. And they'd been making weapons for ages. They had a head start. We were going, get the tanks out, we haven't got any tanks, get that ice cream van out there, get it out there. Kill. All right, oh, fuck it. Fuck off. Everything, just throw everything at them. That's not hard. Orange fruities and zooms. Throw the zooms. Fuck off, you bastard. Pots and pans. Get pots. Just throw the pots and pans at them. So by the time America came in, because you were watching a US cavalry film, because the US cavalry always comes in just towards the end of the film. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's go, America. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, I love the smell of Europe in the morning. So, how you doing? And we were going, fucking hell, where have you been? Having breakfast. So, what's going on, hey? So, back in the 60s, though, President Kennedy became the President of the United States of America. And he went to Berlin. He stood on the Berlin Wall, and he said, people of Berlin, people of Berlin. I can't do an impression of President Kennedy, so this is, people of Berlin. Amy, no. James Mason playing. People of Berlin, I've come to you to tell you something about American states. I sound a bit like God, don't I? Yes. But I've come to say to you that every free citizen of the world is a citizen of Berlin. And I wish to say to you, ich bin ein Berliner. And the crowd went fucking wild. Trouble is, ich bin ein Berliner means I am a donut. And this is true, and this is what he said. He said, I am a donut. And as I say, 70% how you look, 20% how you sound. Only 10% is what you say. He said, I am a donut. They went wild. You know, because ich bin Berliner is I am a Berliner, but ich bin ein Berliner that's the name of a donut they have there. And it's like going to Frankfurt. I am a Frankfurter. Yeah, we've heard about that one, Jackie. Hamburg. I am a hamburger too. Lucky he didn't do a tour of Germany. I am a hamburger, a Frankfurter, and a donut. But the people in Berlin must have gone, what did he say? He said it was a donut. I thought he said it was a donut too. So what does that mean? It's a slang. He's American. He's a donut. Fucking donut. Fucking donut. A fucking donut. A fucking donut. the fucking donut. I think that's what it must mean. Like sharks. Sharks can smell. No, they can hear fear. No, they can't hear anything, can they? They've got no ears. Sharks have no ears. You can go up to them and go, I really don't like you, sir. I don't like your manner at all. I think you are basically fascisti. And they would just smile quietly to themselves. Because during evolution, sharks, their ears went all the way down their body until they evolved off their tails. And their ears are on the fish behind. I can fucking hear everything. Sharks' eyes, they're just stickers. That's why they look so dead. Sometimes they float off and there's two on one side. Or they both float off and they're on the fish behind. Very few fish swim like this, actually. Most fish swim like this. If they're doing come dancing. So sharks, watch out for sharks. The way they get sharks, in case you meet a shark, you're swimming in the Thames, you know, on a balmy summer's day, like never, and a shark comes out. If you get with a shark, because you could go on holiday, it's the nose. Go for the nose. The nose has a gelatinous liquid inside. It is their sonar, and that's how they judge distances and everything. And if you bonk them on the nose, they go... If you kiss them on the nose, they go, ah, floaty light. And if you stick your finger in their nostril, it deactivates a shark. I have seen a picture. National Geographic, a guy with his finger in a shark's nostril, and the shark's going, ah. If you don't believe me, try it on your friends. What are you doing? So if you do it, and when you take your finger out of a shark's nostril, there's 10 seconds before they'll do anything, which is useless. So the best thing is just to keep it in there and swim it to shore. Oh, that guy's trying to save the shark's life. Fantastic. Yes, it's true. But they're protected. You can't kill them because they're protected by the United Nations of Shark Protection thingy. I think you should kill them. They're fucking fascist fish, aren't they? They're murdering fucking big one-ton bastards. They keep eating humans. Couldn't we just kill them for the fuck of it? One thing was huge before language, and that was Scrabble. Because Scrabble, after language, it became about words. Before language, it was just put the letters down. There were no rules. Everyone was a winner. K, t, thung, guitar, spling, bang. 76. Asting, boxic, skranzikanga. It's 105. It's a triple word. Dang. Scrabble was invented by Nazis to piss off kids with dyslexia. This is true, they proved this now. The word dyslexia was invented by Nazis to piss off kids with dyslexia. What's the point of coming up with a word like dyslexia to explain a word blindness spelling problem? They have a problem with the words. It is a difficult thing. We've called this problem Got 22, pick up. Got 17 silent letters in the face of a rat in it. Just call it bonk. They suffer from bonk. They have a word blindness. We call it bonk. Excuse me, miss, I got bonk. All right, just choose something at the corner of the class. All right. I would have preferred that than sitting there and spelling colour with a K. I did a fantastic I Spy. It was brilliant for I Spy. I Spy with this S for ceiling. Went on for hours. So my brother was throttling me. S, ceiling. Ceiling's not with an S. Of course it is.